Marc Eisma from the Port of Rotterdam Authority, and he's going to give a short presentation on why climate change adaptation makes economic sense. Thank you, Marc.
Thank you. Let's see how this... Okay. So, first of all, most of you probably know that the Netherlands is close to the sea and lives with the sea for a long time. And in 1953 we had a large flood, so in that period the Delta program was started to deal with flooding in the Netherlands. And at this moment this is still going on, and we as a port are heavily involved in this. You see at this one picture, if we wouldn't have dikes, the Netherlands would be a lot smaller than it is now. So it's very important to deal with this. There are actually three issues at hand if you look at the port dealing with climate change. The first one is navigation. We are an open port, but we are fortunate to have this barrier which protects us from when there are high storms. And on the other hand, if you go upstream, there's also some effects which might occur in future, and some of the other presenters already discussed this. Another issue is freshwater supply, which is a big asset for a lot of companies in the port. And if you look at projections into the future, this is going to be a problem. So we're now investing 2 million euros in becoming more flexible by getting another inlet point for a freshwater lake, which we use, and also look at improved monitoring to be more capable of doing with this. And last but not least, of course, protection against flooding. And the good thing is that the port is located pretty high up above sea level. But the bad news is in the Netherlands, if you're behind the dikes, you're okay. The government will protect you. But if not, like the ports, you're on your own. So, and of course we as a port have to deal with that, but specifically also the companies. One good thing from Europe is that there's a directive which already was in place that now also looks at flooding. So all the big companies are already more aware and dealing with this. So there's two things we can do in the ports. The first one is we make new land, like we do a lot in the Netherlands. We reclaimed a new area in the port with, where you can see it, a red circle. And then it's fairly easy to include climate change, so we did so. With the infrastructure and with new chemical industries coming there, we can cope with that. But of course there's also a lot of companies that are there for a long time already. And so what we are doing at this moment, we are going through the port to different areas and trying to come up with a climate change adaptation strategy. The first one is the bottleneck area, which you see here. You see two pictures. And we looked at different return periods of different storms in these areas to get an understanding how this is affected. And actually you can see at the top, this Maasland barrier kind of works, because this area here is very good protected. But on the other side, there's an open access to the sea, so this kind of gives you an idea that flooding is important to cope with. So what we did, we made a specific assessment framework, which has never been done for outside of the dikes in the Netherlands, and that dealt with economy, environment, and casualties. Well, casualties are not the issue, environment not so much either, but economy is the real issue. If you really look at the numbers and the water and how it affects the port. So we looked into this, and with this assessment framework we also made projections to the future with climate scenarios. And then between 2040 and 2080 would be the moment to really have some measures in place depending on climate change scenarios. So at this moment we're working on this, And I have to tell you that the lessons learned here is that you, with joint fact-finding with all the companies, because they have a lot of knowledge, that really helped us to get more knowledge how these systems works, because all these companies are connected through pipelines. And you see that the blue spaces, they're not the only ones affected. When that water comes in one area, also other places are having problems with this. So I think that's something that's important. And awareness creation and European legislation that really helped us to get going. So that's it.